Hello, my name is Andre Alvin Moore, Master Numerologist, and today's lesson is on joy, Joy. Webster defines joy as happiness. Think of all the things that make you happy: a baby's laughter, receiving good news, doing something good for someone, accomplishing something that you set out to do. All of the above are very joyful experiences. Following one's passions brings joy as well. Now, when you incarnate into a body that's very, very dense and very, very heavy, and it brings very little joy to a soul that has been living outside of the body in a different type of a body that's not so dense and not so heavy. It's called the astral body, Astral. But a soul has to come back into the body due to karma, pretty much. And karma is anytime a soul have a desire, that soul must be fulfilled for thy will shall be done. Okay, but so anyhow, when one enters into the body, you experience a heaviness brought on by the weight of the body. Carrying around this weight can bring about a weariness that may lead to fatigue. Once fatigue sets in, you may grow tired and look for a place to rest. Now, going into meditation helps to relieve this heaviness, and it connects you to your source, which is God. Now, God is light, and the feeling of lightness allows you to feel joyful, rejuvenated. Whenever the weight of the world gets you down, just take some time out for yourself. Go into solitude so that spirit may restore your peace. Now, the world does not want you to experience joy. So it bombards you with a million different things that you have to do. Life hits you so hard that many people cannot find the time or solitude to recover. For most, sleep does not accomplish what it was meant to accomplish. Some people are very restless when they sleep at night. They tossing and they turning and they have nightmares and they're not feeling comfortable when they wake up in the morning. So for a lot of people, sleep is not a very joyful experience. For others, sleep can be a very joyful experience. But for a lot of people, it's not. So some people use sleeping pills to fall asleep because they're not relaxed enough or their body won't allow them to rest. So they go to sleeping pill. But sleep is imposed upon us so that our consciousness could be lifted into a higher level of awareness. But some people need help from sleeping pills to fall asleep. And they're restless and they find themselves turning all night. Okay, so for many, joy is absent from sleep. So many souls find themselves tangled up with emotional problems. Husbands and wives are not happy. Mothers and daughters are fussing and fighting. Fathers and sons are not harmonizing. Nations versus nations are at war. You know, neighbors arguing with neighbors. It's just not a very pleasurable, joyful experience for a lot of people. Citizens from different countries are caught in the crossfire from war. Populations rushing back and forth from work just to keep a roof over their heads. Most humans are living a life of stress, and joy can visit. Most people work at jobs that only affords them one vacation or two vacations for a year. And they try to use that 1 week or 2 weeks to find some joy. They go on vacation, but a lot of people cannot even afford to take a vacation. They take their week at home And then they get so bombarded by just catching up on the things that they weren't able to do while they was working that 9 to 5 job. So, so joy really, can visit. So lack of joys can lead to a disease of the body and the mind. To escape from this sense, some actually commit suicide. In other terms, to drug and alcohol. A lot of people take their lives because they cannot deal with the stress of life, or they try to find artificial escape through drugs and alcohols. And sometimes this drug and alcohol, they find themselves becoming addicted. Sometimes they die from it. Okay? Now, we all must take time for God. And a great master once said, "Be still and know that I am." Seek the kingdom of God first, then all things are added unto thee. These are the keys to reestablishing a sense of joy. Now, the word joy consists of only 3 little letters. Now, work with me here. Because the letter J, use the power of your imagination, use the power of visualization, and imagine that the J is a swing. Okay? Now, watch how children experience joy. Just go to the park and watch how children experience so much joy and happiness when they are swinging in a swing. When I was a teacher, boy, the greatest joy for a child was to be pushed in a swing. Higher, higher, they tell me. They didn't care how high they went. They wanted to even go even higher. And they would laugh and they would giggle. And you know what? When it was time for the next kid to take the swing, that kid that's in that swing did not want to give it up. And I can understand why. Because it brought them so much joy, so much pleasure. That ability to just have the wind flow through your hair, the ability to flow through the air was such a very positive and a joyful experience. So, why not take the time out and go for a swing? Go to the park, get in a swing, feel what it's like to be free again. Be a child again, and that will help to reestablish your joy. Okay? So we should all find time to swing, letting go of our stress and just enjoy the gentle rocking back and forth. Now, the second letter of the O, work with me here, is a circle, but let's imagine that it is a ball. Once again, watch how much fun children have just by kicking and throwing a ball around. A bouncing ball, a football, soccer. It's just one little ball, but they love kicking that ball, and then they love running after that ball, and they run kicking that ball again. Now, what about a dog? Have you noticed how much fun a dog have running after a thrown ball and then joyfully returning it back to its master? So next time you're feeling stressed, hey, go outside and throw a ball around. Now, the last letter Y, work with me once again, is a tambourine, right? And have you noticed once again how much fun children have when they're jumping off of something like a bed or in something like one of those inflatable bounce houses? You know how kids just love to jump into those inflatable houses and just be bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. And most of the time, the parents are just sitting on the outside watching, praying that nothing happens to the child. But the parents should get inside of that inflatable bouncing house and bounce around themselves, and that will relieve a lot of joy. So the next time you're feeling stressed, go and jump on top of a bed, up and down. Be foolish. Now, are these children experiencing stress or joy? So the next time you're feeling stressed or depressed, go jumping down. Go jump up and down on your bed. Now, the numbers that are associated with the word joy are 1, 6, and 7. Now, so the 1, whenever you see the 1, it indicates something that you ought to be doing. So the 1 indicates that you are responsible for your joy. A lot of times we want to place that responsibility on another person. and say, you bring me joy. And if the person falls short on that, then we criticize that individual. But actually, you are responsible for your joy. You ought to be doing things to bring you joy in your life. You need to find out what makes you happy, what puts a smile on your face, okay? So, never let another deny you, of your joy. Now, the number 6 indicate that we must be more like children. And a great master once said that we must be as children if we are to enter into heaven. Think about that. You got to relax. You have to enjoy yourself. You have to laugh. You have to have fun. And then you can, get into heaven, right? Because heaven is a joyful place. Now, the third number, 7, indicates that joy is a spiritual experience. It's a spiritual experience to have fun and to have joy, because it de-stresses you. And if you de-stress, then you can relax. And if you can relax, then you can meditate. And if you can meditate, then you can get in touch with the supreme joyful being, which is your creator, which is God, which is the divine mother, which is the goddess energy. Okay, so now when we add all 3 of those sub-elements, the 1 and the 6 and the 7, you're going to get the compound number of 14. And 14 is, it has 2 sub-elements, the 1 and the 4, reduced down to the number 5, which is the number of play. So in order to get in touch, stay in touch with your joy, you must learn not to take this drama of life so serious. And if you need some help, go play with some children. Okay, that's my lesson on joy. Be joyful. Make a joyful sound. Go outside. Go and play with some children. Go see your nephews and your nieces and just have fun with them. Take them to Chuck E. Cheese and, play with them. And you'll feel much better. So, until the next video, I'd like for everybody to understand that having fun is positive. Find out what brings you joy, what makes you happy, and don't look for another person to bring that into your life, because if you're dependent on another person to bring you joy and happiness, what happens when they fall short? It makes you become depressed, you become angry, you start criticizing the person, you tell the person, well, you're no fun anymore. Duh, find out what brings you happy. So, until the next video, peace.